Hey, what's up? Welcome to the podcast. I'm Adam Bush.
I'm Christopher Munch.
And I've been practicing this. Yesterday when I was driving, I was practicing this intro.
Saying your name? Hey, everybody, I'm Adam Bush. Hey, everybody, I'm Adam Bush.
Yeah. I am a writer and a stand-up comedian.
I do comedy. I do acting, characters.
We used to work at a church.
I used to work at a church
for a very long time, 15 years.
22 and a half
When I
years.
point to you, you
Sorry,
have to
okay,
go.
that's my cue to
That's
talk.
your cue.
Okay, 22 and a half years.
Oh, my Lord. That's so long.
Yeah.
And over the last 2 years, we risked it for the biscuit. We were talking about that. Yeah, we risked everything.
I'm all about that biscuit. Adam, you know me.
If there's anything
At
your eulogy, I'm going to be like, he was about the biscuit. Whatever that is.
But he loved his family.
He loved,
really?
But let's be honest.
He was about the
It
biscuit.
was that biscuit. Yeah.
Live for the biscuit.
Living for the biscuit.
Just living for it.
Yeah. No one ever regrets living for the biscuit.
No.
So we quit our jobs about the same time, around the same time.
Within a year.
Yeah, within a year. You quit. I actually took your job.
That's
and
right.
and then I quit.
That's right.
To be entertainers and to kind of follow our passions in a different route. It was a great job.
Yeah.
And it's how we became great friends.
Yeah.
And now we're doing this. And welcome to the podcast. This just kind of follows our journey. And today we're going to talk about a couple things that have happened recently.
Yeah.
We're going to cover, we got a theme. And then at the end, we're going to end it with comment of the week.
Yeah.
Which is it's a hot new segment on the old pod.
All the kids are talking about it.
All the kids are talking about
They're
it.
just like, can't wait to hear the comment of the week.
Yeah. I wanted to tell you about this, Chris, because I think that you would have a lot to say about it. So we're in my office at my house, and my wife makes candles, and she made it in this cup.
Yeah.
I got this cup. So I was in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
We were on vacation, and I was in this little coffee shop, and this was like a handmade cup.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get one for Diana so that she could make a candle out of it, and then I wanted to get a couple as gifts for
Sure.
Our nanny who was watching Luna. And I looked at it, and like it's in pesos.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, yeah. Oh yeah, $6. That's pretty good. Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
And so I got it, and I took it up to the register, and I wasn't really paying attention until I paid for it and got the receipt. It was $60.
Oh my God.
This cup.
You paid $6. So it was just a lost in translation kind of a thing.
Yeah,
you
I just
were paying
like
with pesos.
it was like 10-1 or something, and I don't know.
Got mixed up.
I don't know. I got confused. I guess I got confused.
My gosh. Can you imagine that person? How excited they were.
Oh yeah.
Thinking they just sold
my
one of these
stuff is
mugs
worth
for
it.
$60.
Yeah, that's probably how they're selling.
Was
all
it a
of them.
mistake, or was that actually what they cost?
I don't know, because I was too embarrassed to like bring it up afterwards. No, I think afterwards I was like, no, it was how much it cost. Yeah, it was, but it wasn't something.
So this was like a high-end shop.
I guess it's kind of like, it was just a regular coffee shop that, like, I don't know. You ever go to a coffee shop, you see like a piece of art on the wall, and it's like,
Yeah,
25,000.
right. Yeah,
You're like, well, no one's buying that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened.
That's
here.
what happened here.
Yeah.
May I hold it?
Sure.
So this has been made by hand. This is a really nice mug. This is a $60 mug.
Is it a $60
totally
mug?
understand. I wonder how long it took them to make this.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not worth $60 though.
I mean, maybe not.
I mean,
well, then it's got a logo on the bottom. So this is like a corporate thing.
So you think maybe it wasn't handmade?
It looks like it's handmade.
I think it is. Even that logo is like kind of.
Yeah, like a stamp.
Yeah.
What do they call it when you make like? There's like a really cool name for it. You're like I'm a kilnist or something like that. A potter. There's like there's a word for it.
No, like
put in the comments what you call someone who like makes pottery.
It's like a kiln.
Yeah, use a kiln to like bake it.
Okay.
And then like, but there's like a I have to Google it. That's a super cool mug though.
What do you do? Because I know you're so much more thrifty than I am.
And, what would I do in that situation?
And better with your money than I am.
Yeah.
What do you? Would you say I'm sorry?
If it was $60 and I just realized that, I would have gone back in and been like, I'm so sorry. I didn't understand what I was paying.
Honestly, I think you wouldn't have bought it for $6.
$6, looking at that mug,
you might be
that
like,
would be an amazing deal.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not that I don't mind spending money on nice things.
Yeah.
It's like, I just hate spending money on things that I feel like I'm not getting a
$17 sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. That's my riveting intro. Welcome to the podcast. I think one of the last podcasts we talked about Chris's Michael Bublé.
Yeah.
Where did we leave it?
Yeah. So I think we left it with just, I had had this experience and I posted a video about it. But I remember, I think we left it feeling like, I don't know if he really actually recognized me.
So if this is the first episode you're listening to, your character that you play on TikTok, Steven Stevens.
One of my big ones, Steven Stevens.
Yep. You,
Michael Bublé had reached out, or he commented on one of my videos.
Yeah.
And I made a video basically back to him.
Yep.
He commented on that. So there was a little bit of rapport there. I found out he was going to be in our town. I was like, I should go to the show with Steven. That sounds fun. And so I went to the show with Steven. We got floor tickets. He's like, he pointed at me, all this, and then we ended up, attempting to sing a duet together. I didn't know the words, unfortunately.
And when we left on the podcast, you were like, I actually don't know.
Yeah, I was dressed, in a kind of ridiculous costume. So I didn't know if he was just kind of like having fun with this guy who showed up at his show in this ridiculous
Even though he pointed at you
and
then grabbed you by the neck, brought you in.
Well, yeah, because he said, hey, he said, sing with me. And he grabbed, I know he wanted to sing with me, but I just was like, I don't feel like it's totally unreasonable to think he would do that with somebody else. So it was just like, did he actually recognize the character? Well, that's where that's where we left it. And I think it was even later the day then we did the podcast that day, or maybe the next day. Then he commented on one of my videos just saying how excited he was to see me there. And it was amazing. I was like, confirmed. And then he followed me on TikTok.
Hello.
And so I sent him a message, on TikTok, and he responded in a very kind way. Amazing person. He was very.
Oh yeah, it said something. So, it was really nice.
Yeah,
how you brought him a lot of joy.
He was very. Yeah, he said just a very nice.
Turns out he's just a guy like the rest of us.
It turns out he's just the old Michael Bublé puts his pants on just like everybody else.
He laughs just like we laugh.
He laughs.
It's in his mansion, but
guy.
He does laugh.
Yes.
Yeah. I like Michael Bublé. I don't know a ton of his songs. I remember Still Haven't Met You Yet. I remember that was one of the big ones but I remember years ago when he was on Saturday Night Live with John Hamm. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
And they had a sketch together called where they were selling a champagne called Ham and Bubbly.
I didn't know that.
And it was like
they're trying to get something to take off.
It was like champagne with ham in it. Yeah. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, he is really funny. Because he was really, really good in the sketch.
Yeah. So that was another reason I kind of took the risk of dropping a whole bunch of
biscuit.
Yeah.
You're all about it.
I'm all about it. I'll do whatever it takes
to get that
biscuit. I just had seen how he had interacted with fans and stuff.
Oh yeah,
in different ways. And I'm like, he just seems like he's a lot of fun, and he would probably get a kick out of kind of playing around with the character. And so that gave me a little more confidence to risk it, and I got the biscuit.
Oh my gosh, that's what the name of the podcast is going to be: Risk It or Biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Awesome. Anything else you want to say about that?
Just that he seems like a super cool guy.
Super nice.
Yeah, and was very kind.
Michael Bublé, if you listen to the podcast, you are welcome anytime.
You're welcome to be a guest.
We'll come to you.
We'll come to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We can talk about it.
What do you say?
You looking at the camera?
Come on, Mike. Come on.
The
moment we had,
we can do that again.
We can do it again.
Come on, Mike. Risk it. Get that biscuit.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
No, he was super cool.
That's awesome. All right. Now we're on to the theme. Today is a very special day. It's going to seem sad.
Okay.
When I mentioned it. but it's not sad.
Not sad.
No, it's. I think
Usually when you preface things, it's going to sound really sad, but it's not sad.
Anytime somebody says it's not going to be sad, it's probably going to be sad.
Yeah, it's like the hilarity is right around the corner.
Yeah. So today we are. I don't know when you're listening to this because I'm not you. We are recording this on September 29th.
We're giving that information out now.
Well, it's important. Okay. You want to be rude about my sad story?
I'm just saying. No, sorry. Go ahead.
We're recording this on September 29th. September 29th is significant to me because it is the day that my father passed away.
That's right.
So that's the sad part.
That is the sad part.
Today, 13 years.
13 years ago.
Yeah. 13 years ago, my father passed away. But the really awesome thing is my dad was awesome.
Yeah.
My name is Adam Bush. His name was Bill Bush.
Bill Bush.
His name was Billy Joe Bush.
Billy Joe Bush.
My name is Adam Joe Bush. My daughter's name is Luna Joe Bush.
Aww.
And my brand new nephew, you might not even know this. My brand new nephew, who was born a couple weeks ago, his name is Cooper Joe Bush.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my brother had a little boy. Yes. So we thought when we were picking themes for today of what we could talk about, we thought we'd talk about dads.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of great stories about my dad. If you go back and watch my special, A Night of Storytelling and Comedy, on my YouTube channel, I talk about my dad a lot.
Yeah.
My quintessential story is about the time he bailed me out of jail. Yeah. You got to watch it to hear the story. Get that biscuit. But he was a great guy. He was a really loving husband.
Yeah.
Great father. And very funny dude.
Yeah, amazing dad.
Funny. Like I said, he was a great husband. I never heard him one time even say that like another girl or lady other than my mom was pretty. Like my whole life, he never even nothing.
I mean,
there are.
Dude,
I'm married, and I do know that other ladies are pretty.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm calling them ladies.
Well, I'm just thinking, like,
yeah.
I'm married, and if I saw another woman, I thought, oh, she's really pretty, I probably wouldn't be like, hey, kids.
That's a good point.
Hey, guys, you see that girl right there?
Very pretty.
Very pretty girl.
That's true. I say that to say he was incredibly funny.
But not to take away from your dad.
No, right. No,
man.
That's
He's
a good point. That's fair. Yeah.
I never once saw him hitting on another woman.
I never once saw him hitting on another woman. I never saw him talking about the way another woman looks to my mother. I never saw him invite another pretty woman over.
Yeah.
Everybody he was friends with was ugly.
Yeah, that's right. Only ugly people in his life.
That's fair. Honestly, in my marriage, Diana is the one who's always like, look at that girl. She is pretty. Yeah. It's like, what are we doing?
Why would you point that out to me?
She's like, she's got a great figure. Yeah. It's like, okay, this is awkward. Yeah. But he was a great dude. And if you talked to him, you never met him.
I didn't actually.
Yeah.
No.
Was the picture I sent you yesterday the first time you had even seen him?
No. I've seen a picture of him before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he started a church. I performed at that church.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So my dad was a preacher. They were traveling ministers. Again, you can hear about it all in my special. Go ahead and click it. Click it for the biscuit. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. They were traveling ministers. My parents met in Bible school.
Yeah.
They met and got married. Gary's making some noise.
Oh, that's a signal.
That sounds professional. They met and got married 59 days later.
Amazing.
That's a little insane.
Yeah,
but it was the 1800s.
I wouldn't recommend that.
No, I wouldn't.
It was the 1800s.
Yeah, they got married so fast, and then I was born I was like a honeymoon baby.
Yeah,
so, like super fast.
Yeah.
And go ahead. No, I'd like to. What were you going to say?
59 days later, you were conceived after the wedding?
Let's just assume.
Yeah.
I'm just believing the best.
Okay, let's just believe the best.
For their Christian marriage.
Well, you prefaced that story by saying how quickly they got married.
It does seem odd. My mom might listen to this podcast.
Okay, we probably just move on.
You know what, Mom? I believe the best in you. Love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not trying to throw suspicions.
What is it? Shame? No.
Shade?
Shade. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
We're not young.
I'm not hating on your parents.
No, that's true. Yeah. No. Hey, listen, everybody's got their own story. All right.
No, that's great.
Yeah. Do it. You do you. Yeah. So, but anyway, then he had a church in Louisiana. I have a lot of stories about growing up in Louisiana. He had a church he took over a church of 11.
Yeah.
And in the first year, he lost 10 of those people.
Yeah.
So that's not great odds.
That's not a great start.
No, it's not a great start. But it's still going today. It was like 30 years
So maybe
ago.
it was a great start. Maybe that's exactly what had to happen. You got to weed out the 10 don't want to be there to get back to the 1.
To get back to the 1. Miss Utopia. That was her name.
Miss Utopia.
Yeah.
That you can build a church on Miss Utopia.
You can't. And he did.
And he did.
It was a utopia. Yeah. And then we moved back to Tulsa when I was in high school. He was a great guy. I loved him. He passed away of a sudden heart attack one day. He was gone like that, which I will say, if I only have experience with like really, I mean, a few other people in my life have died, but like he's obviously the closest person I'm closest to that passed away. I will say I'm going to go for the sudden pass away.
That you prefer that.
I do. Yeah,
really?
I think so. I think on this side, I think it feels like if you're going to die, like if I'm going to die, I want longer. So I can make amends or tell my loved ones how much I love them.
Yeah.
But I think it's easier on this side if someone passes away that
just
they're
suddenly,
gone.
just really.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You disagree?
I don't know. I feel like I would want to just like be able to say everything I want to say, and like do you think about like the last time you talked to your dad?
Oh, it was an amazing story. So the last time my dad called, I didn't pick up.
Oh,
yeah. So I remember I was sitting on my bed on my computer doing some work. It's kind of late. My dad calls. I'm like, I don't really have time to talk right now, so I don't pick it up.
Yeah.
So he leaves me a voicemail.
Yeah.
And the voicemail is this. So I was living with my buddy Andrew, and who I worked with, and my dad called and he goes, "Hey, it's Dad. I was just driving and thinking, your buddy Andrew, he work with you? I was just wondering about that. If Andrew works with you. Just wondering. All right, call me back." That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at first, like immediately, like when my dad passed, I was like, I can't believe that I didn't take that call.
Yeah, right. I was going to say, yeah.
But I saved the voicemail.
Yeah.
And that voicemail is so silly because it's so dad.
Yeah.
It's such a dad thing to call. But it's the underlying like theme that I love. He just wanted an excuse to call me. That's all that's about.
Yeah,
he doesn't care if Andrew works for me. I mean, he might be kind of curious. He's just like,
this is the starting point to have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my dad.
Yeah.
One time, the last time I saw him, I was at home. It's like 10:30 at night. He lived in a city adjacent to us, like 30 minutes away. And knock on the door, open it up. It's my dad. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, I was just in the neighborhood. Like, my neighborhood's pretty far from yours.
Yeah.
And he just comes in and he sits down. And I have no idea what we talked about. Nothing. Watched some TV together. And then he goes, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
And then he left. And he just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
That's the last time I saw him.
I wish I could have met him.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have met him. I wish I had met him.
I gave you many opportunities. And that's what I want to confront you about right now. Yeah. Yeah. My
awesome.
Diana, my wife, she met him one time. We ran at a TGI Fridays. We were dating.
I can't think of a better place to
your dad at. Dude, my dad was a big fan. Big fan of TGI Fridays. I can't tell. If there's any place I want to go to remember him, I just
get the old, what are they, potato skins?
We would get the triple treat sampler. And potato skins, nachos, and matzo sticks. And it's pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
It's about 5,000 calories for that.
Pretty good though. I don't know.
No.
I remember with TGI Fridays where like the first time I took my wife on a date to
Sorry, if that
is your
you
dog
hear noise,
okay over there?
Walter, my dog is okay. He's settled in.
All right.
Nope, not settled. You wanna Walter, you got it?
You got it, buddy?
He's sitting on a little poof over there.
You got it?
We can't hear it. Okay.
That makes it even more weird.
Well, that's weird.
I remember taking my wife on a date to TGI Fridays, and at that time, I thought TGI Fridays was an awesome restaurant. Like, do you remember that transition of going like when you used to think like Chili's,
Applebee's,
and Applebee's? These are like nice restaurants, and then going like, oh, these are terrible restaurants.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
this food is awful.
Yeah. But it was amazing when you were younger and going on a date because there would always be some deal like full lunch for like $7.99 or whatever, and he's like, getting a lot of food. That's a good. I mean, you could walk away with $20.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I have fond memories of TGI Fridays. They're not around here anymore.
We don't have. Well, we had one, but this is so interesting.
Yeah.
But the tornado.
Oh yeah.
This is the oldest two guys talking on a podcast.
This is what we're talking. You remember when TGI Fridays was good?
You remember when we used to like Fridays?
You remember when
it burned down?
It burned down. It's not here anymore.
It's not.
Tornado got it.
Man, I miss, Trish. She used to work down there. I'd always go down there. She'd give me a salad for free. I loved Trish.
Oh, she was the best.
Yeah. But yeah, that I don't know. Yeah. So I met him for like 5 minutes or whatever. Anyway, not a lot of people in my life now ever met him. So, but yeah. So I thought I'd tell one funny story about him. He was he was pretty clever, and he liked to make fun of me, but it was always very endearing. Like he was the most encouraging dude. Like he believed I could do anything that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And but regularly he would say that, just like a pretty quintessential dad thing. It's just like, son, if you want to do it, I'll support you. Yeah, I believe you can do anything you set your mind to. And so, but we had a big difference. He was a real big husky guy. I'm 5'5", weigh 140 pounds. Like
tiny person.
I'm a pretty small person for being a 41-year-old man. And he was like, I don't know, he played defense, was a linebacker or something in football, and was very into Ohio State and college football. And like I could care less.
Yeah, you're not a big sports guy.
I'm not a sports guy, period.
Yeah, right.
Be very clear.
Yeah. Zero interest
in it.
Yeah.
But I played baseball when I was a kid because I don't know, that's what everybody was doing.
Yeah, sure.
And
rite of passage.
Yeah.
As a boy. Okay.
But when I got to 5th grade, like the tier went up. It was just like you were going up to the next league, but you kind of had to be picked by a coach, or if you didn't get picked, you just stayed in that league.
Yeah.
And I didn't get picked, obviously, because I sucked. And I mean, I played right field, and everybody knows nothing's happening in right field when you're in 4th grade.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I guess like I'll stay on Harper Motors. That was our team, like in the league. And my dad sat me down and he was like, what if you didn't play anymore? Let's talk about that. And I was like, no, it's cool. I'll just be in this.
Yeah.
Like not even thinking about the fact, I'm so confident that I wasn't even thinking like that I'm bad. I was just thinking, no, these are the options. You go ahead or you stay put.
It's totally acceptable to stay right here.
Acceptable.
Just keep working on my craft.
Just keep working on it. And he was like, well, I mean,
maybe you should.
You're not great. I think we know that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, am I not? Am I not good at this?
Gosh.
He's like, I think you could be better at other stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's how and I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
I mean, he was even encouraging in the way that he told me that I was really bad at something.
You were
it's basically just
excelling at being bad at this.
He was basically just saying like, hey, you can do anything you put your mind to. Except sports. You're pretty bad at sports.
Yeah. Sports might be what breaks that analogy down.
Yeah. He was I am missing a kidney because I had cancer as a kid, and at some point junior high I was like, Dad, I think I want to play football. I don't know why. My friends were playing football, and he was like, yeah, you can't because you've only got one kidney, so that's settled. And I was like, oh, can't do it, I've only got one kidney, which is kind of a thing. I mean, like you don't
sure
kidney. But you could wear a kidney guard.
It's like for me, I don't like pets in our house, and the kids for years have been like, we want a dog. It's like, I don't want to do it. We're not going to do a dog. And then Lewis is allergic to dogs. And so guys, we can't do that to Lewis. I wouldn't dare do that to my son.
And Lewis is the youngest, so when he leaves the house, be like, oh, well, you're all gone.
I'm sorry. Man, wish we could have had a dog.
At your funeral, one of your girls is going to be like, he was such a great dad. He was going to let us have a dog, but because of Lewis.
Yeah.
So otherwise he would have let us.
He cared about his son.
Oh, I do. I'll tell the story too. One thing that was awesome. One thing about him that was awesome is he didn't really care for school too much.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I was in school.
Yeah.
Like we traveled a lot as a family when I was younger. And then like when we got to school, he would still take me out a lot.
Yeah.
Like I get in trouble every year for like being over 20 days of absences or whatever. And like, it's amazing I even graduated.
Amazing.
But he one day we woke up and he just goes, "You're not going to school today. We're going to the movies."
That sounds amazing.
I was just like, yeah. And so we drove to Shreveport, 30 minutes away, and we saw Fievel Goes West.
Oh my gosh.
You remember that
classic?
movie?
Yeah, of course.
Is that a classic or just an American Tale a classic?
Oh, I thought
Fievel Goes West was a sequel.
Oh, I thought that was the same movie, but
no, different.
Sequel to
but it was
American
great.
Tale. Yeah,
it was great. And it was just me and Dad. We just went and saw Fievel Goes West, and it was amazing. And we probably went to Fridays afterwards, and like, whatever. I was out for the whole day.
Yeah.
But dude, the next day, I was the biggest jerk to my friends because I was like,
you were like bragging about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No one asked me like, "Hey, where were you yesterday?"
No one cared.
I was just like, "Hey, were you guys wondering where I was yesterday? Just in case you were, I was watching Fievel Goes West."
Fievel Goes West.
I wasn't sick. I was feeling great. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but no, he was awesome like that.
My dad would take us to movies. There's some of my best memories with my dad where we would go to movies. I'm pretty sure we saw Return of the Jedi in the theater.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, like I was a very small child. When did that movie come out?
I think the first one came out in 70.
It would have been the last one.
I'm gonna get in trouble by somebody who's actually a Star Wars. Gary's looking it up. The last one was in the 80s.
Yeah, it would have been like 82 or something like that.
Yeah,
83?
something like that. I'm guessing 83. Gary's looking it up.
83. Okay,
83.
so I was 5.
Whoa!
But I remember like going to the theater, and there's a scene right with like a big monster in like a pit, like where he like it comes out of the shadows or something. And like he's stuck in like this like.
This sucks.
I'm not a Star Wars like. I like Star Wars, but I'm not like.
It's been a couple of years since I. Do you remember, Gary?
Yeah, so they make people walk the plank.
It's not that thing. It's like I feel like it's like the very beginning of the movie or something. But isn't there a monster like chained up?
I can't remember specifically that one.
Yeah, in a pit.
Yeah, in a pit, and then like.
Down there.
Yeah, and then with some. Yeah. Anyways, I remember that. But sorry, what are we talking about? My dad.
Yeah,
I'm going to movies. We used to do Saturdays. We would do double feature.
Whoa!
At the Dollar Theater.
Oh man!
And that was always like the best Saturday. It was we would just go and just hit 2 movies in one day.
That sounds awesome. Sidebar: my first experience with Star Wars was I was very into sci-fi movies, and my mom said, "You'll love this movie," and she went to get me A New Hope, but the video store was out, so she rented The Empire Strikes Back, and that's the first one I watched, and I was very confused.
Yeah, right.
It was like, I don't like this movie. I don't know what's happening, and I didn't watch it for 30 years. Like that, I didn't watch all of the original Star Wars until like
way later.
Yeah, in fact, I saw them. I ended up seeing them in order. Like I saw the first the prequels, and then
Just to show you how big of a Star Wars fan I am.
Yes,
I saw Rogue One a year after it came out.
Yes.
And I was like, this girl, I thought we already did her backstory. Pretty sure we already saw her as a child. Why are we seeing, is this another thing of her as a child? So literally didn't figure it out until, spoiler alert, she dies at the end. I'm like, oh, this is a different girl.
Yeah, you thought Rey was Jen.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Jen's the girl in a Rogue One.
Yeah, I thought it was Rey.
So you basically thought they were like remaking.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of timeline issues that I was having. So I was like, wait a second, is that like, because Darth Vader's at the end of that? I was just like, something is askew.
Oh man, how did you figure it out?
When she died at the very end.
You're like,
oh, okay, I'm confused. This is a different person.
This is a different.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, that makes a lot more.
You
sense.
basically were watching one movie thinking it was another movie.
Totally, the whole time.
That is amazing, Chris.
I know.
Were you watching it with people?
I don't remember. I feel it was on like Netflix or something. I feel like I was just. I was in my house. I don't remember if anybody.
Well, it would be amazing if you're watching with people and you're like asking them and they're not clearing it up for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was tracking with the story, so it wasn't like I'm like, what is happening? Like, obviously there was like, they're trying to protect the base or whatever,
right?
And so
protect the base or whatever. Yeah, that's
pretty much it. That's pretty much every Star Wars.
Well, I mean, that is kind of true.
Try to destroy that team's weapon and then protect our base.
All right, in this episode of Star Wars, they're gonna have a base. We're gonna want to protect it, but then they're gonna have a base, but we want to get rid of it.
We want to get rid of that.
Man, you're not far off. I love Star Wars, but it is kind of true. Yeah. It's like, but guess what? Their base, it's bigger.
Wait a second, they developed another weapon that can destroy everything.
Wait, the other bad guy was dead, but he had a grandson. Yeah, that is amazing.
Anyways, so I enjoyed the movie, and I was like, oh, I was confused, but
all right. Yeah. But that's awesome that your dad took you to those.
Yeah, this is some of my best memories was going to the movies with my dad, and all that stuff was always fun.
All right. That concludes our theme about dads. Please give yourselves a round of applause. All right. And to finish it up, we're wrapping up with a segment that we're very excited about called Comment of the Week.
Comment of the Week.
All right. So Chris,
Adam and I both are on social media.
Oh yes, yeah.
So we're getting comments all the time.
Yeah. So if you want to follow me, see my stand-up clips on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, I'm at Hey Adam Bush. And then for Chris
Munch Comedy.
Instagram,
TikTok, Facebook.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube
as well.
Yeah. So all the ones I just said.
Yeah. Same.
You said it again.
All the usuals.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. You can go first.
All right. I'll go first. So I posted on YouTube, I posted this story about going camping with Gary and how it went awry for me.
Yeah.
I was unprepared.
Yes.
And unmotivated. And someone posted, imagine saying 100 words in over 10 sentences and not a single funny bit. Is this dude a woke comedian? That's his funniest bit. Unfunny AF. Don't quit your day job. Well, Neo Krish, I did quit my day job.
Too late.
Too late now. Could have used that advice 7 months ago. So that's in your face.
Ooh.
And guess what? It's going pretty good.
Do you reach out to him for other life advice? He's got it. I mean,
What do you think about my fathering skills?
Yeah, some poignant observation.
Do you think I'm a good husband?
I would love for Neo Krish to weigh in on that as well.
Neo Krish, you give me your comments anytime, and I'm gonna write them down on my mirror. I'm gonna read them every morning. Just give myself some encouragement. And be like, don't forget.
I think it's safe to say Neo Krish has your best interests in mind.
I think that's obvious.
And when you can only hear from somebody when you know how much they care. I think he's proven he cares about your well-being.
Well, I don't know if it was
so. Really listen to what he has.
Yes. It's what is the saying? You can't. I can't. People don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
There it is.
Neo Krish, I can tell you care. Or what was that? What was it you or Gary said yesterday about it's always the successful people who want to discourage people following their dreams.
That's right. Yeah. Of all the successful people I've met, one thing they all have in common is they love squashing other people's dreams.
Yeah. So Neo Krish, he's obviously successful because he's trying to squash my dreams.
Successful people have time to go out of their way to hurt people and to squash people's dreams.
It's always the unsuccessful people that are like, do it.
Yeah.
We believe in you.
We believe in you.
We're encouraging you.
Here's how I can help.
Yeah. So thanks, Neo.
Thanks, bud.
All right. What about yours?
Gal? So my background is performing in churches.
Yeah.
And so and specifically the same church, predominantly the same church. And so like you build a rapport with an audience, you kind of have an audience that knows what you do, knows who you are. And so, I mean, I think that really creates, I didn't have very thick skin, compared to I'm not used to anybody like criticizing what I do, which, you get better by expanding your audience. But, so for me to like start putting stuff on TikTok, I was actually really nervous about it. It was very uncomfortable for me.
Oh, right.
And just having all these people see this stuff and comment on it was very uncomfortable. And so I would say probably one of the ones that stung the most. I've for the most part gotten wonderful comments, like 1 out of 100 are negative. But this guy said, imagine, so this character is, Steven Stevens, where I'm, hey, what's up, ladies? And I'm wearing ridiculous clothes and, I look ridiculous. And anyways, he said, imagine being this old and making cringy TikTok videos.
And that's it.
That stung a little bit.
Did it?
Yeah.
Why did it hurt?
No, it stung because it was like, I was already you feel like it's kind of a silly character. And I think one of the things that I've wrestled with is I take myself too seriously.
Oh, right.
And so like wanting to kind of step into just being like, oh, like just be fun. It's okay to just be fun and be a little silly or whatever. And so for that comment to hit me, it just was kind of like, it was feeding all of those like insecurities of just like, no one takes you seriously. Like you're such an idiot. You're such a joke. And so, yeah.
And now you're retiring.
And now that I said all that to say that's it. I'm done.
Awesome. Well, hey, if you want to be part of the comments.
It's not fun at all. It's just depressing.
So sad.
It really stung me. It really got me. And
our podcast is always like, people are going to be listening.
gosh.
Like, these guys are fun. Oh, that guy,
Oh,
they got
gosh.
deep emotional
So
issues.
serious. Jeez.
But yeah, you can follow us at Hey Adam Bush or at Chris Mitch Comedy. And yeah, we actually would like to hear your comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
I'd
right.
love to.
All right. That's it for the podcast. Let's do a little something where people can see us or whatever. If you want to stay up to date with all of my shows, then you can go to at heyadambush.com. Or if you want to watch my last special, you can check it out on my YouTube page. It's called A Night of Storytelling and Comedy. And my Dry Bar special will come out soon.
At some point.
At some point. I filmed it 18 months ago. And no, I filmed it. No, that's not true. I filmed it 11 months ago. Still a long time.
Yeah.
But at some point it's going to come out.
Yeah.
And it will probably come out after my next special. But yeah, you can do that. And then if you want.
Yeah, I do a lot of personal messages, personalized videos on cameo.com. So you can hit me up on Cameo.
Well,
Cameo.com /Chris Munch Comedy. Or just go to my TikTok or my Instagram and click the link in my bio.
Awesome. Hey, we love you and we'll see you next time.